welcome to Rathods Science Academy. Today in this session we are going to see current affairs of 12th March 2025. So let's get started with our discussion, and please don't skip this video anywhere because I am going to give you lots of insights regarding how you have to make notes and what you have to think about from that article, and how you have to make the question from prelims and mains, and how the questions can be appeared. So all these things that I will let you know in this video. Okay. So now let us see the first article. So first of all, whenever you are seeing these articles, you have to see the title first. So what is the title of this article? Ukraine agrees to a 30-day ceasefire with Russia during talks with senior US officials. So actually this issue, which is not a new issue now. So from last 1 week onwards, we are seeing this article that it is about US interference. So actually you know that Russia-Ukraine war is going on. So Russia-Ukraine war is going on. So from which subject you can see this? From GS paper 2 under international relations. So what is the new update in this Russia-Ukraine war is? Now US wants to interfere, and US wants to come up with a ceasefire between these two, that is Ukraine and Russia. And now what happened finally? Yes, we are going to have this ceasefire between this Russia and Ukraine now. So because of this is the news. Okay, so this is a present context. Whatever I said is what is the thing which is given in this article title. So what you have to see is, first of all, you have to see this article from GS paper 1 under geography. So first you have to see map. So map of Russia and map of Ukraine. And in 2022 or 2021, there was a question regarding Ukraine map in prelims. So you have to see map of Russia, and second one is map of Ukraine. So what exactly you have to see in map? I will be saying map, map, map. What you have to see exactly? So you have to see about that country and which countries are sharing boundary with that country. You have to see boundary sharing countries of that. And you have to see important physical features. What are the important physical features? For example, if there are any mountains or any plateau or any desert or any important river. So like that you have to see the physical features which are there in that area. And you know that in this Russia-Ukraine war, so most of this important areas which had been occupied by this Russia, you have to make a note of that 5 important regions which had been occupied by Russia in this Ukraine. And you have to see their locations, and you have to try to arrange them from west to east, or like north to south or south to north, like that. You have to see these directions as well. On these directions also you may get a question. Okay, so that is from the basic geography. And next, other dimensions you have to see. The first one is, what is the important reason why this Russia-Ukraine war had been started? So the important primary reason is NATO. It is North Atlantic Treaty Organization. Ukraine wants to join this. So because of this, Russia, it felt that it is insecure. So even you have to know about some facts regarding this NATO. What is this NATO, when it was formed, who are the members, and which are the countries recently joined this NATO. So like that you have to see about some facts regarding NATO. And apart from that, you have to make a list of other reasons why this Russia-Ukraine war happened. And next, you have to see that Ukraine is a very small nation and Russia is a very big nation, but it has been like 3 years. So it is doing this war, it is fighting against. That means this Ukraine is getting some external help from external countries. So which countries are helping this Ukraine? That thing you have to see. For example, you can see European countries are helping, and this one is USA is helping, and some other nations are helping. So in which kind the help is getting? For example, financial aid or humanitarian aid, or else directly supplying of arms, etc. So you have to make a note of that. And recently there is one report regarding CIPRI. CIPRI says that Now Ukraine is the largest importer of arms from 2020 to 2024. So you have to add that data regarding Ukraine. Okay. And next, yes, war is happening, it's okay. Then you have to see what is the impact of this war. So impact on global economy, impact on global organizations like United Nations Security Council. So United Nations Security Council is losing its prevalence and as its prominence because of it is not stopping war between Russia and Ukraine. So how it is getting affected? And not only that, how it is affecting supply chains. Okay, so what is the impact on people, that is society in Russia and as well as Ukraine? Okay, so all these things. And you have to see about, last but not least, what is role of India? So what is role of India in this ceasefire? So can India participate in it or not? Can India motivate this Ukraine and Russia to stop this war or not? So what is the role of India? So all these things that you have to think about. Okay, now let us see this article directly. So here Ukraine now agreed for a proposal. What is that proposal? 30-day ceasefire with Russia. Okay, now finally Ukraine agreed for a 30-day ceasefire. That means within this 30 days we can establish at least peace and security. If every talks will go normal between this Ukraine and as well as Russia, even they can go for extension of this ceasefire and finally they can come up with a complete solution between these two countries. So that is the thing that we are expecting. That means at least this is the first step they are taking to establish peace. Okay. And actually US is playing a very important role in this ceasefire. So till now actually US supported this Ukraine by sending some financial aid and as well as by sending some military aid and as well as information sharing or intelligence sharing. And now US wants to come up with this ceasefire. That means because of change of government in US, that is because of this Trump 2.0 era, we can understand that there are changes in foreign policy of US. Okay, so that is the thing. And next one here is, if you see some important details, the first one is with this agreement of 30-day ceasefire, which is one of the critical turning point for ongoing conflict which is happening in this Russia and Ukraine. That means they want to explore some diplomatic solution or diplomatic avenue so that they want to decrease the impacts of this war now. And next one here is, yes, US is playing a very important role in facilitating these discussions. That means we can understand that yes, there is influence on international diplomacy. So actually now US wants to stop, that is lift, or means nothing but to stop temporarily providing military aid. That means it is keeping military aid restrictions on itself so that it will be going for boosting of this kind of ceasefire. If US is mediating this ceasefire and if US is providing this military support, is that right? No. So because of this they went for lifting, or they went for temporary ban of this military aid, and they are coming up with restrictions on that, and they are going for this kind of ceasefire thing. And this one is they are also seeing other countries who are mediating this Russia-Ukraine ceasefire. Apart from US, even Saudi Arabia is also involved in hosting of talks. That means we can also understand that yes, international collaboration is very important. Other countries also can take part in establishing the peace between the countries. Okay, and next one here is because of this agreement, yes, we can also have some economic things, like we will be getting access to this Ukraine's mineral resources so that it will be advantage for both the countries, and we can also improve the supply chains between these countries and as well as other countries which are dependent on these countries now. Okay, so that is the thing, nothing more to remember about this. And now let us see the next article. Title says Kerala continues to grapple with the challenges of risky illegal migration. So what is the keyword here? The keyword is migration. So let me write that keyword here. Keyword is migration. So in which subject you will be reading this migration? From GS paper 1 under geography, you will be studying about this migration. It is part of your economic geography. Okay, so what are the dimensions you have to see? You have to see about what is the meaning of migration. Migration is nothing but it is a movement of people from one area to another area. So you have to see what are the factors which are affecting migration. So in these factors normally we have two types of factors. First one is pull factors, second one is push factors. Pull factors means nothing but why other place is attracting the people. Because of certain things like essential services, because of improvement of education, because of healthcare access, because of employment opportunities. If you go there, you will feel that your standard of living will be improved. Those are the pull factors. Push factors means the factors which are present in your location which is pushing you out. For example, if in your area if there is no education, no healthcare, no employment opportunities, if there are any disasters, then you will be pushing out of that. So you have to see exactly examples of this push factors and as well as push factors of migration. And next you have to see about types of migration. In these types, some people will be in India and moving to other states, that is internal migration. For example, some people who are moving from India to other countries like US, Europe, France, Australia, Japan, like that is called as international migration. So whenever the migration which is happening in our country, and again that migration is divided into four types. Rural to rural migration, that means rural area people will be shifting to rural areas. Next one is rural to urban migration, that means rural areas to urban areas, and urban to urban areas nunchi inko urban areas, like that. And next one is urban areas to rural areas. This is also called as de-urbanization. This concept is called as de-urbanization. You have to see all these types with examples. And next you have to see what is the impact of migration, what happens because of this migration. Okay, and here you have to see both positive impact and negative impact, guys. So positive impact means you will be getting access to education, you will be getting access to healthcare, etc. Negative means nothing but urban population will be increasing, urban sprawl. Because of that slums development happens. Okay, and even lack of sanitation, lack of hygiene, everything will comes under your negative impact. Okay, so now why this article of Kerala is in news? So this article is talking about migration from Kerala is happening. So you know that in India, this state, that is Kerala state, is having 100% literacy, and this Kerala is very famous for remittances. Remittances is nothing but people of Kerala will be shifting to other country, and after they will do some work in other countries and they will send back certain amount of money back to their parents. That is called as remittances. That means more international migration. More international migration is happening in the state of Kerala. So here this article is saying that yes, Kerala is having certain problems with these international migrations. So what are those? That means killings are happening in other countries. So here you have to make a note of recent incidents of killings. So just in 1 year, 3 Keralites were killed in foreign territory by armies. So in which country? That is in Jordan. Jordan armed forces, they were trying, actually these Keralites, they were trying to enter this Israel. So because of this Jordanese army people, they were shot dead. So like that, and even bullet injuries, because of that also, some people they died in other countries. And even in Russia-Ukraine war zone also, some Keralites they had been died. Okay, so because of this migration, that is international migration, you may get a question regarding what are the challenges faced by international migration. So actually this article is talking about only about death because of illegal migration. That means whenever we are moving from one area to another area illegally, especially without proper documents, that is called as illegal migration. So because of this illegal migration, many Keralites are dying. Apart from that, you have to now search about what are the problems faced by international migrants. For example, many Indians, they went to US now and they are coming back, illegal migrants in US. So like that you have to collect some examples now, it is your work. Like in which country, which kind of problems Indians are facing. Okay. And now let us see the next article. Title says 283 Indians trapped in illegal jobs rescued, brought back. So this article is talking about illegal job who are doing who are trapped in these illegal jobs had been rescued. So the key word that you have to see is human trafficking. So this article is talking about human trafficking. So where you will be studying about this human trafficking? In GS paper 2 under polity, you will be studying this topic. So in polity, exactly where you will be studying about this human trafficking? We have fundamental rights. Rights against exploitation talks about this human trafficking and drug trafficking, okay, forced labor, etc. So what are the dimensions that you have to see, guys? So here you have to see about what is this human trafficking and what are the reasons why this human trafficking is happening in India. And if possible, you can also collect recent National Crimes Record Bureau data, that is NCRB data regarding human trafficking in India. And next you have to see about constitutional provision, that means which articles, article 23 which is talking about this human trafficking, you have to write that article and you have to see about what is that clearly. And next you have to see about what are the laws or what are the acts came up by the government to prevent human trafficking in India. And even we have some portals. So you have to see about the portals of Ministry of Home Affairs which are dealing with this human trafficking in India. Okay. And apart from that, you have to see what is the impact. What is the impact of human trafficking? So if you see this present article which is saying about impact of human trafficking now. So actually certain people, they had been trafficked, especially along this Myanmar and as well as Thailand border, and now they are forced to do the work in cyberbullying or cyber attacks. Okay, so because of this, it will be having huge impact on them and as well as on the nation itself. So you have to see about what will be the impacts of this human trafficking. Okay, and apart from that, you have to see this article from GS paper 3 also, because we are going to discuss about this cyber bullying, and as well as from GS paper 3 we have internal security. So from that internal security also this article is important. So you may expect a mains based question from this cyber security issues in India. So now let us see this article in detail. If you see the title, it says that 283 Indians trapped in illegal jobs, they had been rescued. Okay. So now let us see who did this operation. So actually in a recent operation which had been done by Indian Air Force. So Indian Air Force did operation, and in this operation around 283 members, they had been rescued from illegal employment opportunities. Where they are doing in this Southeast Asia. Actually these people got trafficked and they had been posted in this some illegal jobs. They are working in this Myanmar and as well as Thailand border. Okay, they are working in this Myanmar Thailand border, and actually they are forced to participate in doing this cyber crime and other illicit activities. So if you see about the details that you have to remain, so you have to remember about the situation of human trafficking in India. So especially human trafficking happens for the different purposes. Especially women will be getting trafficked for sexual exploitation, and even children will be exploited, and even especially for jobs, especially men will be getting attracted, especially for false promises and lucrative jobs. They will be getting trapped, and they will be especially involving in multiple states and international borders, and that is not an isolated incident, but even we have large organized crime network will be there behind them, so that everything will be running in a proper way. So actually here you have to remember about how our government will be responding whenever they are coming up with this kind of cases. So actually you know that it is our Indian government responsibility for protecting of citizens who are posted in other countries or who went to other countries. So for that sake only we will be having embassies. Okay. So in other countries, Indian embassies will be established so that they will be taking care of Indians who are present in that country. So even here government will be taking an important role for protecting of Indian nationals. Especially we are having collaboration between the different agencies, so that we can combat human trafficking as well as cyber crime. And even not only Indian government itself alone will be taking care of all. So even we need international collaboration as well as, because they have to share the information. So if you're not having the good relations with that country, we will be not getting information properly. So information sharing is also very, very important. And because of this cybercrime, what happens, it will be having an impact on economy for sure, right? And not only economy will be impacted, but even the personal freedom will be stepped away. If a person who don't want to do that work also, they are forced to do that. That means their individual freedoms will be getting affected. And even this will lead to cyber slavery. So till now we used this word slavery, but whenever we are forcing people to do this cyber crimes, then this term is called as cyber slavery. Okay, and even they are also using technology so much, for example cryptocurrency, bitcoins, etc., so that we can say that they are using technology for doing the cyber crimes. So here whenever you are writing about technology boom or bane, in negatives you can use about this point, that is technology can be used for making of this cyber issues also. So because of this, traffickers are increasing number, and even that will be leading to the problem for the government. And even law enforcement agencies, for them also it is becoming very difficult to understand this technology, everything. So that we have to make the new laws. So that should be dealt with the cases regarding new technology. So all these will be the interconnected things. And next one here is, whenever we are going for rescuing of that people, will our society will be accepting them? Obviously no. So because of this, we have to go for providing of support for the victims and as well as proper rehabilitation as well. Okay, so for that we have to come up with a adequate legal framework is also very important. And even we have to improve awareness to the people regarding this kind of new types of human trafficking, and we have to request the people for them that you should not come into this trap of this thing. Okay. And next one, if you see some facts regarding this human trafficking, what is the meaning of human trafficking? It refers to the illegal trade and exploitation of people, especially for the forced labor or sexual exploitation and involuntary servitude. So how this human trafficking will happen? In the name of recruitment, in the name of transportation, transfer, harboring, etc. So what are the government initiatives? Very important. So first one is, government came up with a law called as Immoral Traffic Prevention Act of 1956. So it is one important premier legislation of our country which is focusing on prevention of trafficking for commercial sexual exploitation. And this one is Article 23, as I said, it is a fundamental right which prohibits human trafficking in India. And next one is, we have Criminal Law Act Amendment Act of 2013, and even we have POCSO, that is Prevention of Children from Sexual Offence Act of 2012. And next one is, we have Bharatiya Nyaya Sanhita, that is new criminal law. According to that, section 143 and 146, 143 to 146, it talks about different provisions for trafficking in persons. And even we have United Nations Convention, where this convention also signed and as well as ratified by our country, so that it will be providing some protocols of prevention, suppression and punishment of trafficking people, especially they want to protect women and as well as children from this trafficking. So these all are the steps taken by the government. Okay, you have to remember that. And even we have SAR Convention. So SAR Convention also had been ratified by India so that we can combat trafficking in women and children for prostitution. So let us see the next article. So title says, Modi calls on Mauritian president, discusses ties. So we know that our president, he is on visit to Mauritius, and I asked to see the map, right? It is an island nation in Indian Ocean. Okay, so actually here whenever our Indian dignitaries who are going to another countries means, yes, why they'll go for do something, right? So this type of meets will be obviously helpful for improving of bilateral relations between the countries. So here this article is important from your GS paper 2 under international relations. So what you have to see? So first you have to see the map of this country. Not only map, you have to see economy of this country. So if you see that economy of the country, then only we can understand why our country is visiting that country. What we are going to expect from that country, we can understand. Okay, it is an island nation. So do we have resources? Very less resources. We don't have any crude oil or like coal resources or anything. So this country will be entirely dependent on tourism. Okay. So here then why India is concerned with this Mauritius? So what we are expecting? So because of its strategic location. So here it is located in Indian Ocean region and India is leading in this Indo-Pacific region. India is focusing much on improving of safety and security in this Indo-Pacific region. So if you are having help from this Mauritius, then we can improve our information sharing, and even we can make our naval base in that country so that we can watch this Indo-Pacific region 24/7. Okay, so that is the one important thing what we are expecting from Mauritius, that is to improving of safety and security in this Indo-Pacific region. So now let us see here what exactly they said in this article. So if you see the context, it says that during 2-day state visit to Mauritius, our Prime Minister engaged in discussions with Mauritius so that we can improve our bilateral relations between these two countries. So first important point you have to remember here is we want to improve whatever the bilateral relations that we have, and whatever the things they are talked in this meet was increasing of cooperation in which sectors? In trade, in technology, in culture exchange, and even they also exchanged gifts. Okay. So recently what happened in India, that is Mahakumbh, right? So our Prime Minister, he gave Sangam water and as well as some traditional textiles to this Mauritius, and they also gave some gifts in return to India, so that we can improve our personal relation, and even we can also exchange our cultural heritage with this country, and we can also improve the goodwill and as well as solidarity between these two countries. And next one here is our Prime Minister is also focusing on historical contributions. So historically also Mauritius is very important for our country. So he also reminded about what are the historical contributions of Mauritius to India. And we are also focusing on community engagement, and even Indian diaspora is also present in this Mauritius. We are also talking about the safety and security of these people, and even we are focusing on cultural diplomacy as well. So these are the things that we have done, and just you have to make a note of which are the areas of cooperation between India and Mauritius and what are the challenges between these two countries. So please do some research and please make a note of this, guys. And now let us see the next article. This article is about ASHA workers will get enhanced pay, says Union Minister. So recently we studied about this ASHA workers, right? So there is an editorial. So what is that article talking about? So ASHA workers, they are doing lot of work and they are acting as a middleman. But even though they are not getting full salary, that is around they are getting 5,000 to 50,000 rupees based on the work they are doing, based on the credits they are having. So because of this, yes, now our government replied that yes, we are going to increase the salary for these ASHA workers. So whenever our government is taking any step, then you may get a question regarding that ASHA workers in this prelims. You have to focus on that. What are these ASHA workers, when it was formed, whether they are included under this National Health Mission or not, and you have to see about what is the roles and responsibilities and what is their role in this thing, like maternity programs or in providing vaccines, and even during COVID-19 period, and decreasing of or increasing of sterilization. So what kind of role they played? Already we had a detailed discussion on that in our earlier class. So if you had making notes, so just go back to that notes once. Okay, now let us see the next article. Okay, your title says new greener electrochemical process turns urine into plant fuel. Okay, so normally humans will be consuming a lot, right? They will be consuming liquids and as well as they will be consuming solids. Okay, so whenever they are consuming, how they will be eliminating the waste from the body? Through fecus and as well as urine. Okay, so if you see the urine is nothing but it is having urea and uric acid, right? Urea and uric acid, they are the final waste that we will be releasing into the body, releasing into environment from our body. So here this article is saying that urine is known as liquid gold. Urine is known as liquid gold and it is packed with, that means urine contains what? Urine contains phosphorus, urine contains potassium and nitrogen. Okay, we have phosphorus, we have potassium and nitrogen. So this NPK are the important components which are required for the plant growth, right? So these are the components which are present in our urea, right? That is also present in human urine. So if you see annually, one adult human can release 450 to 680 liters of urine per year. So from that, they contains around 95% of water will be there, and other 5% we will be having this NPK components. So actually we are going to extract this NPK from the urine of humans. So here this data is saying that, okay, this data is saying that we will be getting around 4 kgs of nitrogen and 0.3 kgs of phosphorus. So this amount, which is very much enough for growing of a wheat for one loaf, that means nothing but one bread slice for every day for a whole year. So we can also generate this urea, which can be helpful for plant growth from urine. That is the thing which mainly said here. Okay. So you have to know about what is this NPK, and you have to do some research regarding urea. What is urea, what are the advantages of urea, and what is the percentage of NPK in urea. Please make a note of it. Okay, now next let us see the next article. So this article is saying that building compassion into healthcare structure. So actually the key word here is compassion. So where you will be studying about this compassion? It is not part of your polity or international relations or economy or science and technology. So this compassion you will be seeing in your GS paper 4 under ethics. Compassion that you will be seeing in your GS paper 4 under ethics. So when you study your 3rd and 4th chapter, especially in 3rd chapter, you will be coming across this word called as compassion, empathy, tolerance, ETC, empathy, compassion and tolerance. Okay, so from that point of view you have to see. So what you have to understand, what is compassion? And this article is saying that we have to include this compassion in healthcare. So if you have been to government hospitals especially, you will be seeing that nurses or doctors will be treating patients carelessly. They will not show the care, and they will not even show the concern towards the patients, right? So already patients means nothing but the people who are having certain diseases and they are in not a good condition of health they won't have. So because of that, they will be expecting something, some kind of compassion, some kind of careness from the people who are present around them, who will be present in the hospital, that is nurses in hospitals. So here this article is saying that in healthcare system, if we are including this compassion, then we can increase outcome. So to make you understand, for example, if you think that you are in hostel, so if you are feeling fever or if you are feeling stomach upset or if you are having any problem, then you will be feeling that I am having lot of problem, and you will be feeling that I am like hopeless, I am like helpless, like that. If you are in home and if you are having your mother's diet or what are the food which is prepared by your mother, you will be feeling that yes, you are in secure place and there is someone to take care of you, right? That feeling is called compassion. So whenever you are feeling that yes, I am in the safe hands, so there are the people who will be helpful around me, then only you will be feeling that like yes, I will be recovering soon. So whenever you are having this compassion in the healthcare, how we can increase outcome is we can increase the time of the recovery will be happening very fast. Okay, so time of recovery will be happening very fast if there is a compassion in the healthcare. But unfortunately in India, especially in the government hospitals, we are not having that compassion. So because of this, time taken to recover is increasing. There is an increasing of time to take recovery. So this article is saying that yes, we have to include this compassion in the healthcare, whatever it may be private or it may be government, so that we can improve the time to, we can improve the fast recovery. That is the thing which mainly said here. So if you see this article, it is saying that Kailash Satyarthi, who got a Nobel Peace Prize, he was founder of Satyarthi movement for global compassion, and he emphasized about the critical role of compassion in healthcare. He said that yes, we have to include this compassion in the healthcare. And not only this person, even WHO, that is World Health Organization, in a report, that report name is Compassion and Primary Healthcare. So this report also said that yes, we need to have the compassion so that we can transform our healthcare services and we can improve the patient outcome. So what you have to make a note, Kailash Satyarthan as well as WHO recommendations. So now let us see the details. So this article is saying that in WHO report which said that if you are integrating compassion into healthcare system globally, so it will improve the quality of the healthcare, and also we can align with our fundamental ethical principles of the medical profession. So medical profession is not like treating the disease, but even they have to show some concerns towards the patient. For example, if any patient who is complaining about pain, so can you say if you are having this disease you will be having pain? You can't say that rashly. So pain will be there, okay, it will take some time. So we have to say in a very smooth way so that patient will be convinced and so that he will try to bear the pain. So that thing is missing. So here we have to include that so that it will also fulfills our ethical principles in this basic medical profession. And this one here is, these studies are also saying that recently studies had been done in the Stafford University which says that whenever we are having interaction with the patient through compassion, yes, we can enhance patient outcome. So patients who receive compassion during the care, they tend to experience faster recovery rates. That whenever the faster recovery rates are happening, is there any need of staying in hospital more days? No, the days will be reduced so that we can decrease the healthcare cost, what are the expenses they are doing in hospitals, so that we can improve patient satisfaction. So patient will be getting satisfied that I got good response from the doctor helped me a lot, right. And next one here is, we can also provide better health work environments also, and even we have to understand the compassion. Compassion is nothing but not only problem solving, that is solving of the problem or disease of the people, but even we have to provide some emotional stability. I am with you, don't overthink about that, so don't think like that. So like that we have to give some emotional support. And next one here is, we have to focus on mental health also. Why? Because whenever you are having any disease or any trauma, it will be having damage to our physical health. So not only physical health is important, even mental stability of a person is very important. If we are not addressing the mental health of a patient who is staying in the hospital, he can't stay in the hospital and he may not cooperate internally, his body will be not cooperating. If the body is not cooperating, means what happens? So what are the medicines that we will be giving, that will be not, patient will be not reacting to that. So that means we have to even take care of the mental health of the patient as well. So that is the thing which mainly said here. And let us see the next article, more signs of overhauling the compliance framework. So this article is also from your ethics only, it is about corruption. So this article is talking about corruption. So in your ethics, GS paper 4, the last chapter, that is property and governance, it is talking about corruption. So it is important from your GS paper 4, ethics. So what you have to see here, so you have to see what is corruption and what are the causes of this corruption or what are the reasons of corruption in India. And next you have to see about types of corruption. And next one is, you have to see what are the laws or what are the acts which are present in India which is trying to stop this corruption in India. And you have to see what are the measures can be taken to control corruption. So all these things that you have to see, okay. So this is very important from your mains point of view, and many times UPSC also asked question on this corruption in your GS paper 4. So now let us see this article. So this article which mainly saying that we have to come up with some reforms in our India's compliance framework so that we can combat this corruption, okay. So here let us see where this corruption is happening. So recently one report which said that 66% of businessmen, they are going for paying of bribes, especially businessmen. 66% of businessmen in India, they are paying bribes, that is nothing but corruption, according to the report called as, or survey called as, India Business Corruption Survey. Please make a note. So India Business Corruption Survey 2024 suggests that 66% of India's businessmen, they are going for paying of corruption or bribes. Okay, so here because of this, this article is saying that we need to have a better compliance reforms. So whatever the inadequacies which are present in our system, so we have to make them perfect. And recently our government came up with this Jan Vishwas Act. So this Jan Vishwas Act which is focusing on removal of corruption, but in that also there are some loopholes which are remain. So because of this, government came up with the announcement of Jan Vishwas 2.0, and this, it is in the right direction, but it will addresses only a one fraction of problem. They are not addressing each and every problem. Again, there are some loopholes with this Jan Vishwas 2.0 also. So because of this, what happened? So whatever, where this corruption happens, whenever we are having more regulatory changes, whenever we are changing the process every time, means that will leads to the creating of uncertainty, confusion. So whether we have to do this or whether we have to not do that. So recently, even UPSC had been changed the pattern for application. So earlier pattern was very easy and it will be taking like not more than 10 to 20 minutes to apply. But now this time many students, they took 3 days, even 2 days to 3 days of time to apply that. And even they have many doubts in that, whether I have to apply this or not, whether I have to keep yes or no here. So how much land I have, I too don't know, but how can I give that? So there are lots of confusion. That means whenever there are changes happening frequently, means that will create confusion, that will create uncertainty. Because of this creation of uncertainty and confusion, that will lead to increasing of corruption. So here we have to make the process very, very simple, so that everyone can go for digital things, applying on websites, everything. So there is no need of man interface. And next one here is, yes, this article is saying that we have to go for digital approach. So whatever the compliances, that whatever the permissions if a businessman need to take, so it should be in a one-stop solution. Everything should be there in a one website, so that they can go for decreasing of corruption. And apart from that, even we have to focus on implementation of labor law reforms as well. For example, we have to implement this new labor codes, we have to replace whatever the colonial era laws are there in India, and these reforms which will be helpful for modernizing of our labor markets, so that we can ensure free and fair treatment of these workers also, so that they will make them to compliant, they will make them to act according to the laws. So these are the things that are given in this article. And next article, it is about your text and context. So this article is saying that RBI presenting the data to indicate that rising of borrowing is being driven by increase and number of borrowers rather than rising indebtedness. So here this article is saying that there is increasing of borrowing in India. So this report of RBI says that yes, increasing of borrowing is happening, it is not causing indebtedness, because now the number of people who are borrowing is increasing, so that there is increasing of borrowing in India. It is not going to cause indebtedness of our country. So this is the one clarification which is given by RBI now. And next one here is, even we should not bother about this indebtedness, because nowadays there is decreasing of subprime lending also. Subprime borrowers also had been reduced. And next one here is, rising stresses in unsecured loans can spell weaknesses for higher value notes. So actually this article is saying that don't worry. So here we are providing good loans only, so that there will be no weakness on the economic stability. So this is the thing which mainly said here. So here RBI said that whenever there is increasing of borrowing, means there will be increasing of consumption. Because of this, in turn it will lead to increasing of demand for the goods and services in the markets, that will lead to economic activity. So this is the thing which mainly said here. So there is no need of thinking more about this increasing of debt. So this is the thing which mainly said. And which is that report saying about all these things, and you have to make a note, that is Physical Stability Report 2024 of RBI. So you may get a question like, recently Physical Stability Report is in news, which of the following organization released that report? That is RBI. So these are the some important topics that appeared in our today's Hindu newspaper. So by this I am concluding. Thank you so much guys for watching, and please do like this class or share this class, and don't forget to subscribe to Rathods Academy.